are you doing it? Like, how do you, if you see your wife is enjoying this man a little too much,
Okay.
they're connecting.
Right.
And it's like,
Then I'm gonna come straight up with it and say, hey, I'm noticing that this person is getting a little bit more attention than I would like, and to you, and this is what I'm feeling. Like whether it's I'm feeling a little jealous, or I'm feeling like I'm being neglected, or I'm feeling like you may be making a connection with this person, and it may lead into something that may be more temptatious or more tempting. I don't know. Is that
I
a
like
word?
that word.
Temptatious.
It's one today.
So I'm going to bring that up because you and I, we have pretty straight up, candid conversations. So I think for me, I would just come straight with it, no filter.
But what if you aren't like that?
If you're not like that, then you need to find a space where you can actually have that conversation. And or I know a lot of times if you're not the vocal type, maybe writing it out or texting it, which is most people are like, oh, you don't want to text something like that. But sometimes that's the only way you can get it said.
So I'm pretty direct. If y'all haven't caught that by now, I'm pretty direct. But sometimes, like, I'll text him stuff.
Yeah.
And
we'd be sitting in the same room.
Literally in the same room. But it's just like, sometimes it's just like, you know, you're in a state of vulnerability. I'm in a state of vulnerability that's just, it's too vulnerable for me. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
And so I'll text it instead. And then because he understands that's the space I'm in, I guess that's a signal to him.
Yeah.
He responds to me in a text.
Right.
He doesn't usually say anything verbal unless it's, I don't know, I guess it depends on what I say.
Unless you come to me and then we start talking.
Right.
But yeah, usually that it's you want to accept whatever communication you can get, or you want to communicate in whatever best way you can in order to let them know. You don't want to not communicate. And so
yeah. So they always say communication is the most important thing in relationships. And the problem is communication requires emotional intelligence.
yes,
Effective communication. I think the problem with people is not the fact that they can't communicate. They have no emotional intelligence.
along with emotional intelligence, you also need conflict resolution skills.
Yes, definitely.
So you can communicate, and you can communicate till the cows come home. But if you don't have the emotional IQ and you don't have the conflict resolution skills, you're going to have problems either receiving or
Facts.
or communicating the information.
Yeah. The thing about it is, depending on the framework that you look at for emotional intelligence, there are 4 primary aspects. So there's awareness of self, awareness of others, there's the ability to manage yourself, and then there's the ability to manage relationships or manage others. Self-awareness is having that insight into who you are, how you are, your triggers, all the things, what you believe, value, all the things that contribute to your you-ness. And then other awareness, it may not be all of that per se, but it's just being attuned to them and being aware of how they are and who they are, etc. And it allows you to respond to the situation and to the conversation and all the things in the appropriate way. People are so unself-aware,
Unintelligent,
unself-aware.
unEI, unemotionally.
Like, people just aren't self-aware.
Right. Oh,
And so
they're not aware of themselves.
they're not aware of themselves. So because they're not aware of themselves, they struggle to be aware of anyone else's needs. They can't see clearly. So you can't communicate clearly because you don't even know who and how you are. You don't even know that this is triggering you. You don't even know why you're upset. You don't even know why you're crying. You don't even know why. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so you can't communicate because, like, for example, with us, like, if anything happens with us, let's say there's an instance where I feel especially triggered. If I feel triggered, I may or may not react in that moment.
Right.
But if I do react, regardless, if I react or not, if I have enough self-awareness where you have actually seen me either walk away or in a moment be like, so I realize I'm in a, more or less, I'll say something to the effect of, I realize I'm in a space.
Right.
I didn't know this would trigger me. And the thing is, when that happens, then I can take a step back. And I know that's my cue not to keep talking, but to be like, I need to process this.
Right.
Because if I don't, we're going to have problems. We're going to be arguing. We're going to be beefing. It's going to be some weird something that didn't even have to go that far.
Right.
But also, being aware of yourself allows you to see how you impact other people. And being aware of other people allows you to see how they're experiencing you.
Right.
And also care about it. Henry was so caught up in himself that he couldn't see what Julia was going through.
Right.
And even though he saw how Dudley was affecting her, he was more so concerned about the fact that Dudley was affecting her instead of seeing that Dudley was affecting her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's like, I see that this dude is taking my place.
Right.
He gotta go, instead of being like, wait, why is this dude taking my place?
What am I not? What am I not putting in here?
Yes.
That's keeping her from doing this.
What does she need that I'm not giving her?
Yep.
That's the question.
Right.
But if you're not emotionally intelligent, you can't have that conversation because you're just gonna be mad and you're gonna be like, I said it, he's gone, don't ask me nothing about it. Don't ever bring Dudley up again.
Right. Yep.
And then you have this whole problem that gets worse. And so,
And you ain't even addressing the actual issue.
exactly. And you can't do that because you lack emotional intelligence and you have no conflict resolution skills. Next thing you know, you got this greater chasm.
Yeah.
And your relationship is just, we don't know how we got here.
Right.
So I think the beginning of effective communication is to know yourself.
Okay.
And to be aware of other people.
Once you're aware of yourself, you know how to react to what you receive, and you can make the proper choice to adjust yourself first before you try to help the person that you need. So if he would have adjusted himself first and said, whoa, what's going on? Why am I feeling this way?
Mhm.
And he took a look at it and was like, oh, I'm feeling this way because Dudley's been spending time with my wife, and now she's feeling some kind of way about him. What do I need to do to address that? He could have been like, well, it's probably my fault because I sent Dudley off with this woman, not realizing that she needed something. She needed me.
Yes.
And so the
Exactly.
fix would have been to switch it up, send Dudley to the church, and then I'm going to spend some time with my wife, which you saw in the film where when they start spending time together, they start connecting.
Yep.
They start to bond.
Yeah, exactly. But it was that whole point, like you said, he could have. It's that whole conversation we always have that y'all gonna keep hearing us have on our podcast is like literally take an objective view and say, what's my role in the mess? If Henry did what you just said,
Right.
he'd be like, well, I'm tripping. What's really going on here?
Right.
And he did an eagle-eye view of his marriage and his what was happening. He would have been like, yeah, this is my fault.
Mhm.
I'm gonna fix this. And he would have made all those changes that you said, but he couldn't see the forest for the trees. So he's like, I'm about to start chopping trees and we're gonna be straight. Not knowing he burning down the whole, he's tearing up the whole forest. Like, this ain't fern gold.
Not fern gold. Oh,
You're gonna fern gold your marriage.
that's
And that's hard.
yeah, it is.
It really is hard to take a look back because the thing is, this movie is perfect for this conversation.
Yes.
Henry's not a bad guy.
No, he's not at all.
He's a good guy.
He's a
And
great
that's his problem.
Yeah.
He wants to be there for everybody.
All right. He's stretching himself thin.
Yeah. And if you, what they say? You can't serve from a empty cup.
That's true.
So if your cup is not full, if it's not overflowing, you don't have nothing to give.
Mm.
And but Julia has to do the same thing.
Right.
Because she's not innocent in the matter. Like, she's innocent in the sense that she didn't make Henry neglect her.
Right.
Her problem is she didn't communicate nothing, and she told Dudley, "What, girl? What he got to do with this?" So the thing about it is, when you take an objective view of your life, accountability and responsibility come to play. Because there's no way you can literally look at your life objectively as humanly possible and not see how you contribute to it. And it's like, this applies to all relationships.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if it's romantic or not. The way you affect people will become evident if you allow yourself to see their side, empathize, demonstrate compassion, emotional intelligence. But also, if you're aware, more so I should say, if you're aware of yourself. So if I know who I am and how I am and what triggers me and what I believe and what I value, etc., then I can be more attuned to how I affect people and how people perceive me.
Right.
And then adjust accordingly.
Right.
But if you don't allow yourself to be objective and really look at yourself and see your role in the mess, see how people might feel and respond and react to you the way they do, you're going to keep doing everything you do and you expect everything and everyone around you to change. And you keep causing mess and things keep getting worse and you can't figure out why because you're so lost in yourself, which is weird because you're lost in yourself and you don't know who you are.
Right. You give my whole message.
It's true, right?
It is.
It's
Definitely.
it sucks. So like communication is only as useful as the communicator.
Okay.
And the communicator who's not self-aware is not a good communicator.
Right.
They just gonna start fights.
And it's gonna be fights every time.
And even if you are traditionally or not traditionally, even if you are like technically a good communicator, you will come off as a bad communicator to them because they can't receive what you're talking about.
Right.
Because they don't have emotional intelligence and they have no conflict resolution skills.
So it doesn't matter if you a professional educator, if you can't talk to that person because they can't receive it.
They ain't receiving it. Yeah. Talk to your boo.
Makes sense.
And they'll be like, and they don't care what you're saying at the end of the day because the only thing they're really mindful of is themselves.